Jenks, my mood has started to rub off on you because now I hear you pouting about having to give a play
Mm-hmm.
in these hockey playoffs, and you're like, I've lost my past two straight. And then I said, well, what are you, 5-2 in your last 7 games? And then you said something like, well, you're only as good as your last. No, you're not only as good as your last 2 games. That's not how sports betting works. Maybe that's how it works in the public court of opinion, but that's not how betting works.
Chelsa, I have two things to say to you. Number one is it's hard to bet when there's just one game on the slate. So you're forced to bet a game. And you know how it is. You don't just bet just because there's a game. You want to choose the game that you like the best. So I don't have that ability right now just because we're in the playoffs, so few games left. But also, that is a terrible impression of me saying, well, I'm upset because there's only one game on the schedule. I don't pout that much. I feel like I have a very manly. Everyone says, Jinx, your voice is so husky. Even when you pout, you sound very husky. Why
Did
can't
you
you say
just
that?
hear yourself? Like
Yes,
your
I sounded
impression of
amazing.
yourself was even more emasculating than mine.
Chelsea, what I like to do is listen to how I'm talking right now, and I like to just listen to myself for about an hour after the show. My dulcet, soothing tones.
Well, here is your upbeat, positive fact of the day. I
Oh,
saw
okay.
this on the internet yesterday that after the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, somebody updated Amber Heard's Wikipedia and
Oh,
her
no.
estimated net worth to minus $10 million dollars because she had to pay $15 million dollars
Oh, my God.
to Johnny Depp. So, yes, maybe we've lost a few bets here and there, but at
Mhm.
least we did not lose $15 million dollars and, our shame and everyone hates us. God, like it sucks because I don't want to hate on Amber Heard too much because she's a human and,
Sure.
these are people that are having real lives, but that was really funny.
When
Estimated
I
net worth minus $10 million dollars.
That just means every time I have an opinion on this show, I'm going to make sure I say allegedly, allegedly, allegedly to make sure I don't get sued. I can't afford 15 million, much less 15,000, 1,500. So every time I have a hot take on this show, I'm going to pause and say allegedly, and that way I'll keep myself safe.
No, just don't write an article about it in the Washington Post against
Probably a
one
good
of the
idea.
most likable TV or movie characters of all time.
Also, that I read this article about the coverage because this is in Fairfax, Virginia. It's not far from here. And the reason why they're having it in Fairfax is because the Washington Post prints its editions out in Virginia near Fairfax. So that's why they had that trial not too far from here. But it was interesting reading the people who attended this trial day in and day out. And there was a husband and wife, and you could tell they were much older, didn't have much to do. And the wife said something like, you can tell he didn't do anything wrong because I've watched him walk out of that courtroom every day. And the way he looked at me, you could just tell. And I thought, my God, is this not providing so much entertainment for this elderly couple in Fairfax?
Also, I thought it was hilarious how people were trying to read between the lines on everything,
Oh,
even the
yeah.
smallest of gestures. Like you were talking about how the opposing lawyer was like, oh, Johnny Depp's eating gummy worms at the trial. He's an absolute narcissist. I'm like, what are we even doing here?
Hey, if eating gummy worms makes you a narcissist, I'm a narcissist. I like delicious gummy worms. I think most Americans like delicious gummy worms. Then we're all narcissists. That was one of the worst points I've ever heard. Have you seen Mr. Depp enjoying a piece of chocolate cake during this trial for lunch? I mean, wouldn't you say that points to him being self centered? It was such a stupid argument to make.
Oh my gosh.